The Palazzo Muti is a large townhouse in the Piazza dei Santi Apostoli, Rome, Italy, built in 1644. Together with the neighboring Palazzo Muti Papazzurri, it originally formed part of a complex of adjoining palazzi and other houses owned by the Muti Papazzurri family. During the 18th century, this entire range of buildings was, by courtesy of the Pope, the residence of the exiled Stuart dynasty while in exile in Rome. They were recognized by the Catholic Church as the rightful kings of Great Britain and Ireland. The Palazzo Muti should not be confused with the Palazzo Muti Papazzurri in the Piazza della Pilota, which was designed by Matteo de Rossi in 1660. Architecture. The Palazzo Muti stands on a street corner, and is constructed on 4 floors. The architect was Matteo de Rossi, who had been commissioned to build a residence for Giovanni Battista Muti Papazzurri, a member of one of Rome's patrician families. The principal facade, today painted ochre and decorated only by quoining, is of just 3 bays, with the main entrance to the palazzo, leading to an inner courtyard at the center on the ground floor. The size of the courtyard, dictated by the narrow rectangular dimensions of the palazzo, is in reality little more than an open light well. The entrance itself is flanked by Ionic columns, once surmounted by a Baroque pediment. This has since been replaced by a balcony. The architrave of the entrance has engraved upon it the name Balestra, a family who once owned the palazzo. The top floor is concealed from sight by a broad cornice. The top floor is architecturally interesting, although hidden from sight at street level. Its 3 windows are divided by double pilasters. That such an architectural feature should be hidden insinuates that the whole facade may at one stage in its history been of a more ornate design than is apparent today. An 18th century drawing of the building shows the top floor was originally lower and decorated in the Baroque style with statuary. However, even in its severe design, the facade betrays some internal secrets. The first floor is obviously a piano nobile, as a hint of the importance of this floor is indicated on the exterior by not only tall pedimented windows but also above them blind windows indicating the double height of the reception rooms behind them. The house originally formed part of a complex of family properties which included 2 other palazzi and 2 more houses. One of the palazzi was the Palazzo Muti Papazzurri, which faces into the Piazza della Pilota. History. Muti Papazzurri family. The Muti Papazzurri are documented in Rome from 1435, when the will of Giovanni Paolo Muti mentions a casa complete with a tower on the site, and a painting from the early 17th century shows an older family house with a large roof terrace on the site of the present palazzo. In addition to the palazzi in Rome, the family also owned a villa in the province of Viterbo. The Muti Papazzurri became extinct with the death of Raffaele Muti Papazzurri in 1816. The palazzo then passed through female descent into the family of the Marchese Livio Savarelli, who assumed the additional names of Muti Papazzurri. The family name used during the 19th century was Savarelli Papazzurri. At this time the family also owned the far larger Villa Aurelia on the Janiculum Hill in Rome, which is now the American Academy in Rome. The palazzo acquired its long and religious name, Palazzo Muti e Santuario della Madonna De Larghetto, following an event in 1796 when a sacred image of Madonna in a niche in the narrow alley to the rear of the palazzo was said to have moved her eyes. Another version says she was weeping because the Papal States were being invaded by France. This phenomena was acknowledged by a papal decree in 1797. Thereafter the statue became known as Madonna De Larghetto. The image had been painted circa 1690 by Domenico Muratori for the Marchesa Savorelli Papazzurri, who lived at the Palazzo. By 1850 the painting, sometimes called the Mater Misericordiae, had overcome her distress at the invasion of the Vatican States and was now performing miracles involving divine intervention. The Madonna had become one of the most visited sites of the Virgin Mary in Rome. As a result of this, in 1850 the owners of the Palazzo, Count Alessandro and Countess Caterina Papazzurri Savorelli, had the architect Virginio Vespiniani build the neoclassical, domed church of the Madonna de Larghetto around the shrine. Today this is Rome's smallest functioning church. The Muti Papazzurri are buried in Rome at the Church of San Marcello al Corso, where the Baroque tombs and memorials still exist. Stuart occupancy. The Muti Papazzurri complex of residences was rented in its entirety at the expense of the Apostolic Camera from the Marchese Giovanni Battista Muti and his widowed mother, the Marchesa Alessandra Millini Muti, in 1719 for James Stuart and Maria Clementina Sobieska as the Roman residence. The Popes Clement XI and Innocent XIII considered the couple to be the rightful and, more importantly, Catholic King and Queen of England, Scotland and Ireland. The cousin of Pope Innocent XIII, Francesco Maria Conti, from Siena, was here the gentle Uomo di Camera in the little Roman Jacobite court. For over 2 generations it remained the seat of the Stuart court in exile. It was the birthplace of James's 2 sons, Charles Edward Stuart in 1720, and Henry Benedict Stuart in 1725. James Stuart died in the Palazzo in 1766 and Charles in 1788. After Charles's death, the tenancy passed to Henry, the last of the Stuart pretenders, who died in Frascati in 1807. Alternative names of the Palazzo. The various names given to the Palazzo can be confusing, especially as the Muti Papazzurri family built other residences bearing the name in Rome. The Palazzo is most often referred to by Romans simply as the Palazzo Muti or the Palazzo Balestra, the Balestra being a family who lived in the Palazzo for a time. The Balestra had the name carved on a keystone above the entrance. Balestra is Italian for crossbow, and it is likely that the Balestra crest of a crossbow lent its name to the adjacent alley, Via de Larghetto. Thus the connection to the Balestra appears in 2 differing names of the Palazzo. During and after its occupancy by the Stuart family, it has sometimes been referred to as the Palazzo Stuart. This is given further weight by the existence of a large plaque documenting the Stuart period of the Palazzo. This tablet is situated in the corridor from the main entrance leading to the courtyard. Today the Palazzo is used as offices, but the public is permitted to walk into the courtyard.